Let's use some groovy paper to talk about a video from Chris Farley that is permanently stuck in my brain. This month, we are with Paper Funday Challenges blog, and the twist this month is Fancy Folds, and the two sponsors are Amanda Jane Designs and Dr. Digi. My image that I'm going to work on today is Dr. Digi. So, the reason I'm doing this skit from SNL with Chris Farley is because of this image. Now, this image is from Dr. Digi, and it immediately made me think of living in a van down by the river. And if you haven't watched that skit, I don't know why, it is permanently stuck in my brain. Don't do drugs, kids. Otherwise, you're going to be living in a van down by the river. The collection I'm using is from Dare to Be Artsy, which is actually a local Kansas City designer. And you will find her in a couple different areas around the States. It just has a lot of groovy symbols. And the reason I'm doing groovy is because, you know, they did a lot of drugs back then. And that is immediately what I thought of when I was thinking about what kind of layout I would do for this image. So I colored this with alcohol markers to try to best emulate the mood and feel of being groovy. I'm not very good at it. Not my vibe at all. I've actually been really struggling with this concept, this page, for quite some time. It has sat on my desk, I don't know, for 3 days or something, just because I couldn't get it. It just did not click in my brain, because this is not my style of paper. This is my base page. Now we just need to embellish, and I've got these fancy little containers here that can just kind of hold my embellishments for me, which is fantastic. And I'm gonna have this living right there, because, you know, van. I did try to kind of copy the colors on this van onto this van. It kind of worked. This is more of a bus, and that's more of a van, so I had to like kind of improvise on where the colors go. But anywho, you can see kind of where my thought process is on this. Now, I don't know. I wanted to get this kind of groovy pattern paper throughout my layout. I was originally thinking about doing it as my background, and it was like too busy, not working kind of thing. And I was like, okay, so this is not an image, right? Like, how can I make this image work in my brain? Because when I am thinking about scrapbooking, I traditionally scrapbook in 4x6 or 3x4 or something that's not a shape, and this is clearly a shape. And so I was really struggling with that too. And then it dawned on me, why don't I make this lay on a 4x6 or this is actually 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and make it like a mat. So then I was trying to be like, okay, which one do I want to use? Do I want to use this green? Do I want to use this background? Well, this was too much color, that kind of thing. So I landed with this green, but it's the back of this. And so then there was a conundrum of like, okay, how do I use both sides of this paper? My brain was really struggling with this layout. Most of the time when I put a layout together, it is not that big of a struggle. It just really was this time for me. I really struggled with this. Not to mention that I don't have really any embellishments besides what's pre-cut or what I cut out from all the different papers that I purchased. So, and these stamped images, like, that's it. Those are the only embellishments I have. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what kind of embellishments can I use? How can I get this paper on here? But you can see here, I am just adding embellishments where I can kind of fit them. And then I've got my title, which is Van Down by the River, and it's gonna land right down here. And I think this is the perfect spot for it because it brings some of the black that's up in here. I guess I could have done other colors, but I felt like the black was very stark and a good contrast against the white and all the busy colors that were going on. But you can kind of get where my thought process is when I consider struggling on a layout when it sits on my desk multiple days in a row. That it is not my style to let something fester like this. And so I was really kind of struggling, and that's okay. You know, sometimes that happens. And I think that's gonna be my layout. This cluster probably is gonna change when I finally start to adhere things, it's kind of hard to do overlap and stuff like that. I also have this word peace that I can put up here instead of love, but I feel like love is part of the video clip. And here's the QR code. I just made this by going to a QR code generator online and looking up the skit in YouTube. So I'll probably kind of tuck this in here somewhere, just like that, or I might put it right on top of here to focus in on the fact that there is a QR code there. Anyway, make sure to check out Paper Funday Challenge's blog and everybody else's creations. Make sure to check out the 2 sponsors, Amanda Jane Designs and Dr. Digi. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.